I wanted to really help people instead of just throw them in the back, no training, anything like that. So what I did, I went to school. I went to PA school. But on the wards, it wasn't my thing. I like to be there when it first happened with the adrenaline, you know, you feel so good when you're really helping somebody when they first get injured. Anyway, that's how I felt. So I became an EMT instead of motor vehicle operator. And during that time, if you actually train the patient, if you actually act like you cared about the patient and was doing vital signs and lung sounds, people didn't want to work with you. This guy acting like he's a doctor. You know, they want to walk the patient. If the patient had the stroke, they walk him. How you gonna walk a patient with a stroke? Drag it, baby. And this was getting to me. I said, this is unacceptable. But I got ostracized by the very people I was working with because I wanted to do the right thing. Later on, when the fire department merged to save the jobs of the white man, that's what that was all about. They merged with EMS and became the fire department branch of EMS. And during that time was Mayor Koch. Mayor Koch put in an insidious rule that if you wanted to work for New York City EMS, you had to work for a volunteer ambulance corps for a year. Guess what? In all of America, there was no multiracial volunteer ambulance corps. So that means you couldn't get a job. And everybody that came to work in my community, they didn't look like me. They didn't act like me. And I used to hear them at roll call say, I'll be glad to go home so I can get out of this scale neighborhood. I'm like, whoa. Those are my people that they're talking about. And then there was this Jewish ambulance corps that they didn't depend on the city. By the time in Williamsburg and Greenpoint and them different Jewish community, they had this ambulance corps that they stuck together, they supported each other, and they were called Hatzola. That's right. Hatzola Ambulance Corps. When the pain guys got on the scene, they already had their people in the hospital. Only thing is they only picked up Jews. Only Jews. I'm saying, you know what? If that is the solution, then I'm going to start a volunteer ambulance corps at Bed-Stuy. Easier said than done, my brothers and sisters. I'm working for the fire department. And you know, something happens to black people when we get with the fire department, police department. That's right. We ain't black no more. Talk about it. That's right. And I'm like, what's going on here? What I did, I told the politicians in the community, sir, I want to start a volunteer ambulance corps in Bed-Stuy. They looked at me like I had two heads. How you going to start a volunteer? 98% of the calls happen in the black community. That's right. Especially gunshots and stabbings. And these, if you got shot at 8 o'clock in the morning when there was shift change, that's your ass. Straight up. If you got shot at 3 o'clock in the afternoon doing shift change, that's your ass. 12 o'clock. Anytime, because they're going home, they're going to beat that traffic. And your kid, and your mother, and everybody else that you know have to wait. And I'm going to tell you something else that I noticed. If the cameras wasn't around, that's your ass. If there wasn't a photo op and it's still going on, that's your ass. I grew up in Bed-Stuy. I went to PS 25, Junior High School 57, Long Island University, Eastern District. I'm saying, those are my people, laying in the street, waiting for an ambulance to come, with their blood spilling out into the gutter. And these little people are trying to beat the traffic to get home. Now I go to the politicians. They said, you need to think about what you're trying to do. Now I could understand the politicians. But when I went to the community and I'm begging for help, they don't know me. And everybody runs scams in the ghetto. That's a fact. Except I wasn't running a scam. And they would tell their kids, you don't volunteer for nothing unless you get paid. How do you know what that man gonna do with the money? And since it wasn't political, there was no political power in Bed-Stuy that really wanted to back me. I was against, wow. So let me tell you what I did. There was one brother on the night shift that stayed in trouble. His name was Joe Perez. He was a Puerto Rican. And the powers that be, he told me, because I made lieutenant because I took him to court for discrimination, since I was more educated than most of them that was my supervisor. Took him to court, I won. They had to promote me to their syringe. Joe Perez said, Lieutenant, I will follow you to the gates of hell. You want to start a volunteer ambulance corps? I'm with you.